Hey guys, and welcome to another special episode of It's Matter of Fact. Don't worry, I think in this part I'll actually have a theme music playing, maybe. I don't know, it depends. Yeah, guys, welcome to episode 3, question mark, maybe? I don't remember. I think it is episode 3. Hey, future Matt, make sure it's episode 3. So we have a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world today, like net neutrality, or as I like to call it, netality. Like fatality, but with the internet. A lot of people are freaking out extremely about it. I'm being one of them, but at the same time, it's kind of like it might be one of those things where let's enjoy it while we have it type of thing. So if everyone who truly is freaking out about it, like building a bunker, putting aluminum foil on their head and all that type of shit, grab some terabyte hard drive so you can download all your favorite porn compilations. But I still think there's hope for it for the most part, because everyone's like, it's over, the internet's gone, it's done. And I'm like, well, I'm still able to log into Facebook without having to pay for it, because It still has to go through Congress. Like, I love the fact that people start freaking out immediately when a vote is thrown. Like, oh yeah, we voted for this, this, and this, and this. And like, oh my god, it's all... Like, no, Congress always has the final say-so. That's why Obamacare didn't get abolished, because Congress voted in favor for it. And, they won by a landslide from it. It was like what, like 45 to 10 or something like that. I don't know, but let's wait. If you're that worried about it, call your congressperson, or call all your representatives from your appointed state, so on and so forth. Say, hey, can we keep the internet the way it is? One of the reasons why I think it's not going to go through Congress is because, number one, there's a lot of people who make money off it. Well, besides Twitch and YouTubers, there's a lot of online businesses that's going to be affected if the net neutrality goes through, if it passes. Like Amazon. Amazon's one of the biggest, if not number one, places on the internet where you can order stuff. And who's going to want to pay money to get on Amazon to buy stuff on Amazon? Like, that makes zero sense. Microsoft is going to be heavily... It's probably going to be one of the biggest casualties of net neutrality, because Microsoft is a huge internet... I don't know, organization? I can't think of the word. I literally just woke up. But, besides making laptops and shit like that, they focus heavily on the internet with their products. Especially with laptops, mouses, keyboards, etc., etc. Like, a lot of big businesses that make a shit ton of money is going to be affected by this, because if we have to pay to get on Facebook, no one's going to want to buy a laptop. No one's going to want to shop on Amazon with a laptop, And it's not only that, it's Netflix, there's a ton of big businesses that's going to be affected by it. So that's why I truly think the net neutrality thing is not going to go through. Same thing when they try to get rid of Obamacare. A ton of people are going to be affected by it. But and this is just my opinion, and I'm kind of surprised no one else has brought this up. I wouldn't be surprised if this is their way to get back at us for us stopping SOPA from happening. You guys remember SOFA? Or SOFA? Or SOPA? It was supposed to completely destroy our internet, and everyone was freaking out about that. But did it pass? No. It did not. But I would not be surprised if... Simon, stop it. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the way of getting back at us, saying like, oh, well, you can't get on free internet and you can't do this anymore, SOPA! But then, SOPA didn't pass, so they were sitting there in their fucking goblin caves figuring out a plot, saying like, oh, well, you know what? If you want the internet so bad, we'll make them fucking pay for it. You know, like doing the Dr. Evil thing. Da-da-da. Yeah, that's just my thought. I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of like, I don't know. That's just me. I could be wrong. Who knows? You know, can't have a podcast without talking about my job next. Yo, and also shout out to Levy. He's been telling me he's been listening to these. So yeah, special shout out to Levy. He's a Twitch streamer. Levy Teamy Gamer. Twitch.tv. There you go, Levy. There's your shout out. No, he's a cool guy. But yeah, I got to tell some more stories about work. Is that I don't know. Nothing too much has happened since the last podcast I uploaded. Not too much, really. Just us being busy. We're up until 1 a.m. now, so that just... My sleep schedule's completely thrown out of the fucking window. Like, 1 minute I'll wake up at 7. Then I'll just be just exhausted by like 1 p.m. And I'm just like, oh my god, why am I so tired? Because I've tried to stay so accustomed to waking up early, especially on my days off. I really like to wake up early on my days off. Sometimes if I don't have anything planned, I'll be like, you know, fuck it, I'll fucking sleep till like 11 o'clock, you know, whatever. But if there's stuff like the podcast, for example, if I want to do a podcast, or if I want to get ready to stream, or if I want to record a video, I like to wake up early. That way, I knock all that out, and, you know, if I have nothing else to do for the rest of the day, maybe game a little bit, take a nap. That's just me. Usually on my days off, I usually prefer to wake up early. Just so I can get a full day off instead of, you know, going to sleep at 3 a.m. and fucking waking up at like 1 p.m. and most of that day off is gone. It's just me. But nothing too much at work, just besides, you know, it being busy. I haven't gotten too many complaints, though. I lucked out, though. I got a Christmas Eve off, which is shocking. I think it's probably because the fact that they weren't going to have 4 front-end managers up front. So I guess it's like, oh, we got to give one of them the day off. And I really wanted Christmas Eve off. Plus, I've already done my time. I've already worked as a cashier my first year on Christmas. And, you know, I was a front-end manager last year, on last Christmas. And I was like, you know, I need this time. And I already know I would have to close on Christmas Eve because on the 23rd, I worked till 1 a.m. And the other 2 years I worked on Christmas Eve, I opened. So I was like, fuck, if I'm working till 1 a.m., I sure as hell ain't going to be opening. So I was like, I'm going to jeopardize on this. Plus, my family has like a gathering every Christmas Eve and stuff. You know, just little things like just, you know, like the kids open gifts and stuff like that. And it's kind of like I really wanted to be there. So I just asked my boss, like, hey, you know, I think I can get a Christmas Eve off? Maybe? I'd like to. I'm pretty sure they gave it to me because I was the first person. There was another front-end manager that told me, like, oh, yeah, I was going to put it for Christmas Eve because I didn't want to work, but they told me you got it first. And I was like, oh, okay, so I got to her before anybody else did. I did that shit in advance. Like, especially because they put the schedule out 3 weeks ahead. So, yeah, I immediately said, like, hey, yeah, I think I can get Christmas Eve off. I know it's asking a lot. But, so I looked out, but I'm definitely going to work next year, though. Because, you know, hey, why not? I'll take the money. Oh, God, that fucking, that kid getting bullied. I think that's one of the saddest things I've seen on the internet. And not because of the fact that it's a kid crying about being bullied. That wasn't the sad part. Sad part is just the whole situation itself. And, you know, I don't think he necessarily, like, I think me and him might have two different definitions of bullying. Like, I got bullied all the time. Mostly because of the fact, when I was younger, I was in special ed classes. But that's besides the point. Mostly because I was in special ed classes, or I was the only white kid in the school. But being bullied is more than just being name calling. I used to get my ass kicked for being in special ed, or for being the only white kid in school, or because I had good grades. Being bullied is not only verbally. You get your ass kicked. That kid has not once said, "Oh, they beat me up." Like, no, they just made fun of your nose. That's not bullying. That's just roasting. When you're in even middle school, elementary school, high school, if you're not being beaten on a daily basis, or even if you want to go back in like the 80s and 70s, if you're not getting wedgies and all that type of shit, you're not getting bullied. You're just getting roasted. I wouldn't be surprised, like, who knows what may have transpired during that whole situation, or how long he was getting quote-unquote bullied. But there's a lot of ways that can get you roasted. Number one, if you look fucked up looking or anything like that, you will get roasted. If you go to, or take me for example, you're in a special ed class, you will get roasted. If you're laughing too hard while someone else is getting roasted, they're going to be like, "I know you ain't laughing with your big throat looking ass," stuff like that. But if he was able to, like, sticks and stones may break your bones, isn't that what, like, I feel like that doesn't apply anymore to anything? Because, if kids were just talking shit to me, my mom, of course, would, like, hug me, say, everything's alright, but they're not going to do anything to you. Just ignore them. You're bigger than that. They're just mad because you're better than them. They're just haters. Alright? But if they start beating the absolute shit out of you, then absolutely, yeah, that's taking bullying to a whole new level. But I feel like because of the fact that it's 2017 now, people just don't like, it used to be considered bullying, like, way back in the day, when bullies with leather jackets used to be like, "Hey, what's up, fuck turd?" Or they try to rhyme your name with, like, shit or something, like, "Hey, what's up, Johnson shitter?" Like, if your name rhymed with something that was like a dick, like, hey, like, if your name was Dick, like, hey, Dick head. That used to be considered bullying back in the day. But I feel like now it's kind of like, especially with the internet now and stuff like that, or, And then the fact that started a GoFundMe, that was the dumbest thing ever. Like, what the fuck is money gonna do to stop you from getting bullied? Like the kid comes to school the very next day with Jordans on, you're still gonna get fucking roasted. And they're going, "Oh man, nice Jordans," but you're still ugly as fuck. Like, like kids are like that. Like, fucking, like, Lil Uzi, he's fucking rich as shit right now, but he still gets roasted for dressing like a woman. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if you have money or not, you're still gonna get roasted. And I'm pretty sure he's getting roasted because he could be a possible racist, he could be dropping N-bombs, that might be another reason he's getting quote-unquote bullied. But, I mean, the message that he made, absolutely, I agree with, people shouldn't be bullied for how they look or anything like that, but if you're doing some shit, like, say, for example, let's just throw it out there. If he was picking on a black kid and just, dropping N-bombs and all that, he has every right to get bullied. Like, if he's dropping the N-bomb, like, "Boy, that's why your nose crooked," then absolutely, that little boy deserves to get bullied back, because that's not right. And who's to know? He could have been a bully. How many times have, someone or you've heard about someone getting bullied their whole life, getting wedgies, wet willies, and getting their ass kicked every day, till the kid is eventually fed up with it and beats the shit out of their bully. Then their bully starts fucking crying, like, "Oh, you beat my ass." I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to roast a black kid, and the fucking black kid just got fed up, and he was like, you know what, fuck you, you fucking ugly ass, that's why your mother's a whore, that's why you got a fucked up face, a crooked ass nose, and then he like ran off crying because like, oh, I stood up for herself. But yeah, why would you do a GoFundMe? Like, my mom would never, ever fucking record me crying, and I used to cry all the time when I got bullied. You know what my mother did? She didn't pull out her fucking camera and started recording me. You know how many times I've made that same or similar speech for saying, why am I getting bullied? I've done nothing wrong. I'm just in a special ed class. And she's like, honey, people are going to be doing that to you. This is what she told me. She said, honey, people are going to be doing this to you your entire life. There's nothing you can do to change it. The best thing you could do, stand up for yourself or ignore them. Like, there's plenty of fucking things you can do. And of course, I sympathized with the kids that were bullied and happened to commit suicide. That it really hurts me because, you know, I don't expect everyone to handle bullying the same way I did. Every single human being's different. You know, some kids are just like, I can't take it anymore. Like, you know, and there's some parents that's even talked to their kids and they still committed suicide. And I sympathize with that. Absolutely. And I pray for all the families that had to go through with that because the fact their kid had Facebook and they just kept getting, you know, affected by trolls and people talking shit about them on the internet and all that. Or cyberbullying, as they put it. You know, because some people are stronger than others. But I feel like how that situation was handled with recording. Like, my mom would never fucking record me. She would give me that speech and then hug me, give me a kiss, and then fucking order me pizza. Or take me to McDonald's. See, that's what that woman should have done. Taking his ass to McDonald's, he would have gotten over it. Get him a Big Mac. But instead, she fooled the entire country and celebrities and shit, and fucking got 60 grand from it. And that's one thing that pisses me off. Is the fact that, I mean, it was a kind gesture. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like there was way more important things that money could have been donated to. Or instead of donating herself, she could have given that money to somebody else. Like Puerto Rico is still in fucking shambles, but we'll donate 60 grand for her and her kid that feels that was crying. Like, there's kids who killed themselves because of bullying, and they couldn't afford the funeral, so they would start a GoFundMe and they would get like $1,000, which doesn't even cover. Funerals are super fucking expensive. That's what upsets me. Like, all that money could have went towards someone who could have truly needed it. Like, they were doing fine. Regular working middle class. Like, they were fine. They needed $1,000 to fix. Money does not help bullying. But now he's famous, so even if he were to move somewhere else, he'd probably get bullied in another state or whatever. And there could be possible racists. Who knows? There's pictures. And I know the phrase "this picture says 1,000 words" or 1,000,000 words, but the racist. I mean, you know, I understand it's kind of fucked up because who wants to give a KKK member 60 grand? I wouldn't. But that's just my opinion on the whole thing. I wanted to do a rant about it, but then I was like, Plus, fucking YouTube would demonetize it. Fucking anyway. But you know, that's just my opinion on it. I can tell you one thing that happened to me at work is that I think I kind of pissed one of my bosses off because we were super busy one day, and I was kind of getting fed up because I already had 3 people call out. So most of my we already didn't have enough cashiers as it is. We didn't have enough cashiers. We didn't have enough people on the floor. It's December, guys. It's Christmas. Why does corporate or management think we're not going to be busy? I mean, that's what I felt like. But I already had 3 call-outs, and I was supposed to have 3 cashiers coming in that afternoon. So it's kind of like, I'm there till 5 p.m. So my whole afternoon crew is fucking not going to show up, which was 3 people. And I feel like with it being December and 2 weeks away from Christmas, it should have been planned out. But we'll cover that in a minute. So we were busy as shit. My afternoon crew's gone, so I only had literally one cashier till 2 o'clock. So lines go wrapping around, at least 30 to 40 people are in line waiting. We had everyone in the store ringing except me and management. And they go on the radio and man, come on, let's hustle, and all that type of shit, because they think telling me to hurry up is gonna, I hate the fact that people try to blame the cashiers of why lines are taking too long. Did you ever stop to think maybe it's the fucking customer that's with the cashier that could be slowing down the process? Say if there's one cashier, 3 people waiting, they'll be like, hey, can you open up another register? You're getting pissed at me. You need to get it. I've never ever heard a customer say to another customer saying, hey, can you hurry it up? If it doesn't have the price, don't buy it. Never. It's always us. Hey, you need to open up another register. Hey, your cashiers need to hurry up. It might be y'all that could be slowing down the transaction. Huh? But they don't think that. They always think it's our fault. But back to my story. After they just kept telling me, hey guys, we need to hurry up. And at this point, besides those 3 call outs, customers complaining to me, I was just fed up. I was like, just give me a reason to go home and I'll fucking take it. So, you guys know me, especially some of my rant videos. If I see bullshit, I'm gonna fucking talk about it. I go through a couple stages when I'm pissed off. First, it's annoyed. Then I'm a smartass. And then I'm fully pissed off. I was in the smartass stage. So when they were talking on the radio about about us being busy and we need to hurry up and all that, I got on the radio and said we wouldn't have to hustle if we planned this out. We had from the beginning of November to plan everything. Mic drop. And of course my boss got on the radio, was like, Matthew, not right now. I was like, yeah, because I'm fucking right. We had till November to plan all this out. The previous store manager we had, it was the beginning of November, and once a week we all got together saying all right, how are we going to do this? All right, December. All right, Matt, what are you going to do in your work? I'm going to be I'm going to be doing this, this, and this, and this. And they're like, all right, right on. All right, other front-end manager, what are you going to be doing? Oh, yeah, when Matt leaves, when I come in, I'm going to be doing this, this, and this, and this, and this. And if we do it like this, we'll be able to get faster progress. He's like, all right, cool. MOD, what are you going to be doing? And he plans shit out once a week for the entire month of November. Last Christmas was a fucking breeze. No issues at all. And this year, even one of the other managers that we have agreed with me. I was like, I feel like we're just fucking winging it. And it's stressing everyone out. Last year was a fucking breeze. And we had plenty of cashiers scheduled. That's another reason. It's fucking December. Corporate and everyone knows we're busy. Why not plan this out? That's another reason why that I took... I wanted to take Christmas Eve off, because I'm like, this store is not fucking ready. Some of the cashiers are not even getting properly trained. I know, their first day, they're supposed to shadow someone, or by shadowing mean, watch how transaction works, and the cashier says, okay, this is how we do things like this. And then, after maybe 2 hours into their shift, they'll be like, hey, you think you're ready to ring now? Then they jump on next to the cashier that was with them. And, they started working. If they had any questions, they asked them, or they asked me if I happened to be there. But the cashiers are I don't know, man. Some of them are good. Don't get me wrong. I'd say about a good 90% of the newer cashiers that we hired for seasonal are good. But at the same time, it's like the training process is taking way longer. And that's affecting the speed of checkout. I've always told all the newer hires saying, like, hey, get used to your register. Recognize, okay, you hit F6 to go to this. You key this in. You look this up. I want them to get familiar with the register before they work on their speed of checkout. That way, it's like second nature. They can like look at the customer and they can just type with their hands and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But like the process is taking way longer, and I'm like, this is gonna not only affect sales and like the line, but like it's just gonna be more. I don't know, I can't think of the word. More crazy, I guess. Because like one day, I'll give you an example. One day when I was working, we had 5 people, 5 cashiers. And I had to call for backup from the floor to come up front. And one of my managers pulled me aside saying, like, Matt, you got 5 cashiers. What's up? And I'm like, I have no clue. I'm like, some of these cashiers have not been trained correctly because I'm not here all the time. I'm part-time, so I'm not going to be there for the whole training process. So I'm not quite sure what the other managers are doing, like when it comes to training them. But I told her, and I was like, yeah, this is not going to work. This is going to be a really painful Christmas if I have 5 of these new people and the line went from 2 people to fucking 15 to 30 to outside queuing and wrapping around. Like, that's not okay. And she agreed with me. She was like, yeah, Matt, you're 100% right. I'm glad that you noticed that. I was like, yeah, because when Christmas time comes around, it's only going to be cashiers. They're not going to want to send anyone from the floor to ring. So it's kind of like if they don't work on their speed, the line's just going to grow. Because, not only are there going to be people that want to shop and like leave, but there's going to be there's going to be more customers on the floor looking for stuff that's going to need help with something. And we can't have, 10 cashiers ringing and then pull the only 2 people we have on the floor up front to ring, because then there's not going to be anyone on the floor. But yeah, just from how the performance and the training that some of these people have went under, it just made me not feel confident about working this Christmas Eve. So I was like, yeah, I'm just fucking taking it off. Like, I would have opened, but then again, I probably wouldn't have. But that's my second reason why I chose not to work Christmas Eve, because yeah, it's not worth the stress, and I don't know. I don't think I have any funny stories about work. I had one person that tried to return a coat that had cat hair and smelled like piss, and she had very broken English, and she was trying to convince me. She's like, "Oh, I got it from your store," and I'm like. Because I said, like, well, man, it looks like there's like hair all over this jacket. Well, your store does have perfect stuff. I'm assuming that's how she said it. But she tried to not convince me, but she was her story was like, well, I got it from here. And I'm like, well, ma'am, it has an odor. We can't take it back if your item has an odor. Like, oh, well, I got it from here. And I love the fact she still kept on saying that, like, oh, well, I got it from here. And I'm like, well, if you got it from here, that's a lie, because why would we have something that stinks? And if something stinked, like a piece of clothing stinks, someone would have brought it up front saying, like, yeah, this jacket stinks. Or like, all right, and I would have thrown in the debits and it would have gotten processed, and then, we would have gotten our money back or whatever. But yeah, we don't sell stinky shit on the floor. And then eventually, when I just kept telling her, since she wanted to keep telling me the same thing over and over, I said, ma'am, we're not taking it back. It smells. Ma'am, we're not taking it back because it has an odor. I completely understand that you got it from here, but there's hair and there's an odor on it. Like, I was holding it on the ground because one of the cashiers handed to me saying, like, Matt, smell this. And I'm like, oh, God, what is that? I'm like, I didn't even put it up against my nose. I'm like, oh, God. I'm going like, bleh. I'm gagging and shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm not... And I was like, where's this lady at? I was like, man, we're not taking this back. So eventually she got fed up and she was like, all right, I take it somewhere else. I'm like, all right. Take it somewhere fucking else then. I don't give a shit. I'm pretty sure people have seen those memes before when a customer's like, I'm never shopping here again. Alright. Bye. Like, there's going to be a day where someone pisses me off and they're like, I'm never going to shop here again. And I'm just going to be like, fucking be like, alright, that means I don't have to deal with you anymore. Like, you're not hurting me, sir or ma'am. I'm waiting for the day that happens. Maybe that day might come. I don't know. It depends how pissed off I am. Because people think because the fact you're doing an exchange or a return, you can just automatically do one. Like, there's rules and shit. Like, one lady got pissed off that it was like she put like $500 in a layaway. And she picked it up. But here's my thing. Is that all the registers and all the layaway receipts all state the rules of a layaway. It's $5 down. Because there's a $5 holding fee. Because we're holding your shit instead of selling it. It's a $5 layaway fee. And it's 20% of all the items together, including taxes. So if you get like 3 items, it's gonna take like, you know, I don't know how the fucking math works, but you know, it's 20%. They take a small percentage out of each item that's on that layaway, and they put it together to make 20 of that percent of each item. I don't fucking know, but that's how the process was explained to me. And you know, including taxes. Now, once you pay that minimum fee, you can either make payments on it, or you can just pay the rest of the amount when you want to pick it up, as long as it's within the 60 days. Anything revolving around a cancellation of a layaway, return of any items in that layaway, automatically gets put on a store credit gift card. It is stated on our website, on the front of the receipt, on the back of the receipt. It is, well, some of the cashiers don't explain it to you, but I feel like all of them should, but it's posted on every single register you're on. So if you decide to say, yeah, I'm putting this on layaway, then you've agreed to the terms. It's kind of like, you know, when you fucking get iTunes and you fucking skip all that shit and you just hit, yes, I accept all terms and policies. That means, you know, that it could be a small smidget in there saying Apple's allowed to kick you in your balls. You know? Like, don't get pissed at us because you didn't fucking read the fine print because you had like 5 different places to fucking look. So this woman got pissed. And this is how I could tell she was probably full of shit. Because customers like to hit you with this, I shop here all the time type of shit. So, that's what she hit me with. But it was like she picked up her full layaway amount was like $500 and some change. She returns about $200 worth of shit. And gets pissed that she's put, that's all going on a gift card. And when one of the managers, because the managers claim that, you know, the person said that they seen them shop here all the time, and and when I saw her, I was like, oh yeah, she does shop here all the time. But she was like, Matt, is there any way that we can reverse this? And I'm like, no, because corporate had this policy set up, we didn't, so it's kind of like we can't override it. And she was like, well, how come I can't get my money back? I spent $500. And I'm like, well, ma'am, it says on our website, on the receipt, on the back of the receipt, and it's posted, you know, at every register, the process of a layaway. And when it's, you know, when you return it, it automatically goes on store credit. Regardless if it's canceled, you cancel it, or it's expired and you get the refund for the amount that you paid for, you know. Anything regarding a layaway, long story short, anything regarding a layaway, when it comes to returning or canceling, it automatically goes back on store credit. So we had to get a gift card and cash that out because she was like, yeah, she says she comes here all the time. She spends money. And I'm like, well, if she comes here and I told her, I was like, well, if she comes here all the fucking time, then she should fucking know the layaway process. That's what kills me. When I come here all the time, then you should know how the process goes. If you claim you come here all the time, you shouldn't even be upset. And this just transfers from one story to another. I had another guy who had the fucking nerve to tell me, hey, yeah, can I get a discount? And I'm like, for what? He's like, oh, because look, it was, I don't know, it's like some European guy, I think, or it was some guy with a really bad English accent. He was like, yeah, can I get a discount? And I'm like, for what? For like which item? And he's like, oh, for this. And I'm looking, I'm like, for what? Something broken? And then like he pointed at the amount that, because it was like $600 he was spending, and I'm like, no, I'm not fucking giving you a discount because you're spending $600. You shouldn't have spent $600 worth of shit, dumbass. Like, really? That's not how discounts work, sir. You're already buying this shit 60% off versus going somewhere else. I'm not giving you a fucking discount because you don't know how to spend your fucking money, dude. Sorry. Like, that's just me. That's dumb. Don't ask me dumb shit like that. He was smiling too, so I don't know if he was like generally wondering, like, oh, are you going to give me a discount? I should have been like, oh yeah, sure, psych. No. No, I'm not giving you and that's not the first time, too. There's been plenty of people that have been like, hey, yeah, can I get a discount? And I'm like, for what? And he's like, oh, yeah, because, I come in here all the time and spend thousands of dollars. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not giving you a discount because you spend money here. That's not how a fucking business works. Fuck you, jackass. And when it comes to exchanges, it's horrible. Someone will return a pair of shoes. It's all dirty and shit. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I wore it for like a day. And I'm like, and you want to exchange? Like, my store is not a place where you can buy shoes, fuck them up, turn around and exchange them for another new pair of shoes, wear them, and then wear those. No, it does not work like that. The shoes have to be brand new. It cannot be all dirty and shit. I love the fact the number one excuse people use when they want to return a pair of shoes, oh, I've worn them for a day. And I'm like, how did you fuck these shoes up in a day? And there's grass stains imprinted in the shoes. You've had to have had these for at least a week. And of course, 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh yeah, I've had it for a day, but the receipt says they bought it a week ago. Or, of course, if they don't have the receipt, they always claim it's been like, oh, yeah, I bought this today. And I'm like, no, the fuck you didn't. Shut up. It's like, what, did you purposely trail this shit in fucking mud and say, yeah, I want to return these? Like, no, you didn't. Why do you have to lie? Like, the fact that the date is going to matter if I say yes or no. No, these shoes are fucked up. We're not taking them. Because how returns are supposed to work is that you return an item, we give you your money back, and we put it back on the shelf to fucking resell it. That's how returns work. You can't just come up here with muddy and dirty and stinky ass shoes thinking, oh yeah, we'll take them and put it back on the shelf. Because one of two things are going to happen. It's either we're not going to be able to sell it, or if a customer does want them, they're going to want it 50% less than what it's worth. So it's like we're losing more money taking back those shoes and giving you your money back versus saying no. Like, I haven't even taken a business class and I fucking know this. That's not how businesses work. And of course some people are like, customer service. No. If we do whatever the fuck the customers want us to do, you know how fucking broke every business would fucking be? Like, this is dumb. See, you see what happens when I talk about work? I go from like, man, nothing really happened at work to, yeah, these fucking people are dumb. Like, string of thefts that we've had a shit ton of thefts in our store. That's why I think it's complete bullshit. If your boss ever tells you we're more affected by people who just drop their shit because they didn't feel like waiting in line anymore and walking out. We lose way more money versus thefts. This Christmas alone has taught me, yeah, we lose way more money in thefts than people just saying, fuck this shit, I'm not waiting in line, and they walk out the store. Because at least, number one, the stuff they drop, I'm like, well, fuck them, we can just resell it to somebody else. But, like, we've had, because we sell a lot of stuff. We sell, like, you know, like little toy drones for, like, $80. We had one guy that ran out with, like, fucking 3 of them. We've had people fucking bust out the emergency exits in the back. Like, it's just sad. I had one good, me and another MOD stopped a theft from happening. Because there was like 2 more people left in the store. One person I saw come in, I was like, yeah, this fucking guy looks shady as shit. And then she told me she got a text from her boyfriend because she gets a ride from her boyfriend when she closes. So he was waiting outside. She texted him saying like, hey, yeah, this homeless guy just like came into your store with a hat. And I'm like, me and her both look up at the guy. That's the guy wearing the fucking hat. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, if it's a homeless guy, then yeah, he's probably going to try to walk out with something. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to make the closing announcement a little earlier and fucking try to get this guy out. And plus, there's like no one else in the store. If the last 2 people are in the store, well, we didn't know the other woman was with her at the time. But I'm like, if we got 2 customers in the store, we're not getting any more fucking people. It's 1 a.m. It's 1 in the morning. But, you know, I made the announcements and stuff like that. He went into shoes, went to Men's Active, went to fucking, he just had a ton of shit in his hand. And then she was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tell him that we're closing in like 3 minutes. Because we were closing in 5, but, you know, we're like, yeah, I'll tell him we're closing in like 3 minutes. So as soon as she did, he was like, oh, okay. And, like, just, like, fucking walked out the store. He probably got away with, like, maybe a sweater or something like that. He was like, yeah, I don't remember him having that sweater on. I'm like, oh, well, he probably walked. I'd rather a sweater walk out than, like, 5 pairs of like, Jordan shoes and, like, some hoodies and shit. And, she was like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead. As soon as that guy walked out, I was like, yeah, the guy walked out, and he just dropped there was like a pile of shit, like, by men's shoes that he just dropped off, and I was like, okay, yeah, he gave up. And, there was a woman there, and, she was like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and tell that lady that we're closing in 3 minutes. I was like, all right, cool, I'll go ahead and start locking up the door and stuff. And, the woman, like, walked out, like, she pushed her cart towards the front and, like, walked out. And I was like, did you piss that lady off or something? She was like, no, I think she was trying to steal too. And I was like, what you mean? She said, when I told her we were closing in 3 minutes, she was like, I know you're closing. I've already been told that 13 times from y'all. And I'm like, you were in accessories. There was no employees over there. There was like only 3 employees on the floor. One of them was already telling the other guy we were closing in 3 minutes, and the 2 other people are like in the back of the store. So who was telling you we were closing in 13 times? But she looked, when I got a good look of her, she looked like she was fucked up looking, and I was like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she was with that fucking guy. I wouldn't be surprised. Because she had a cart full of, like, expensive shit. And she looked like she was, like, either going through some shit or, yeah. But if she really wanted that stuff, she wouldn't have just walked out. She would have just came to the front, paid for her shit. Because we would keep if there's still customers in the store, we're making our closing announcement, we'll keep it open. But if you're taking your sweet-ass time coming up front, then yeah, we're just going to shut down the register saying like, yo, yeah, sorry, you took your time coming up here. You should have came up front when we told you to. You know. But I told her, I said, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that guy was with her sub. I tallied his stuff up and her stuff up, and it was like $400 worth of shit. So I'm like, yeah, I'll let the sweater go. I'll let a $7.99 sweater go out versus $400 worth of shit. So, yeah, that was just all from the last time I closed. I'll probably have more stories after Christmas. But for the most part, that's what's That's my thoughts on everything that's been going on since the last podcast. It's just stuff. So, well, this one's not as long. I wanted to try to at least go for an hour, but not too much has been going on, really. I'll probably have some more stories after Christmas. So, for all you listeners out there, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and listening to me talk for about 45 minutes. And hope you guys have a wonderful, safe holiday. And I'll see you guys next podcast.